So in this haircut, we are going to do a layered haircut. I'm going to frame the face. I'm going to establish an outline. You can see I am doing that right now. The very first thing I'm doing in this haircut is cutting in the outline. I've got A-line sections where I'm combing the hair down and basically cutting in the outline. Now, once I've established the outline, then I can go ahead and cut in the interior layers. So, the very first thing I'm going to do is first finish the outline in the back. Once I've got the outline in the back all done, then I will establish the outline on the sides. That's going to be the frame the face layer. Now, once I've established those frame the face layers, because that is an outline, even though it's layers, it's on the outline, then I will do the interior layers. Then, of course, once I'm done with the interior layers, we'll blow, dry it, cross-check it, and make sure it looks good. Alright, now that the outline in the back is all completed, it's time to cut in the outline on the sides, also known as frame the face layers. So as you can see, I'm combing the hair straight down, holding the hair in my fingers, and holding the hair really kind of in my whole entire hand. If you look, I'm going to grab the hair with my two fingers, but I'm going to let the rest of the hair rest on my hand. My hand is going to act as a nice flat surface to go ahead and cut in those frame the face layers. So I'm just edging in, edging kind of more of a sketching term, not really a haircutting term, kind of like when you edge in when you're sketching in an outline. Well, I'm just kind of freehanding, edging, freehanding in the frame the face layers. I'm holding the hair in my hand so it doesn't go anywhere on a flat surface, but then I'm just going through and I know what line I'm going for, and I'm just edging in that line with my scissors. Alright, now that I've completed the outline on the right side, as you can see, I'm doing the same thing on the left side. I'm holding the hair through my fingers, resting the rest of the hair on my hand, and then just basically going in and freehanding in that outline that I want. I know the shape, I know the look that I'm going for, so I've just now got to cut in that line, that shape that I'm going for. Alright, it is now time to cut in the interior layers. So as you can see, I'm combing the center section straight back. I'm starting in the middle back, and I'm combing that hair straight back, and I'm cutting in a square layer. Now, with longer hair, when you do layers, you can see my fingers here are held in a square shape. Now, I could start to lift this section and round it off to create more of a round layer. However, it is important to note that round layers, because you're lifting and rounding off that edge, you are removing more hair. And by removing more hair, you can make the rest of the hair look too fine, too thin. So, there is a time when you want to do square layers, and there is a time when you want to do round layers. In this particular case, I don't want the hair to look too thin, too fine as I layer it. I want it to look fuller and thicker, not thinner. So, because of that, I am going through and doing some square layers to just leave the layers a little bit longer. A little bit longer means I've got a little bit more hair. A little bit more hair means the hair looks a little bit thicker. And it's still going to be light because I am cutting in some square layers, so it's not going to be heavy like a one-length trim. So, just keep in mind, depending on how light you want the hair to look, depending on how much hair maybe the client has, depending on how thin you want the hair to basically look at the end of your haircut, you may want to do round layers or you may want to do square layers. Alright, so now that I've completed the square layers, you can see I've gone ahead and already blow dry the hair dry, and now I'm going to go through and cross check it. So one of the things that I'll do is I will comb these frame the face layers into the comb itself. So you can see I hold the comb like one big finger. And basically, as I'm holding it with the comb, like one big finger, I go through and I cross-check and sharpen those frame-the-face layers. So as you can see right here, I'm just kind of getting the hair all in that comb. And it's nice because obviously my fingers are not as long as a comb, so I can grab a lot of hair in the comb when I go to cross-check these layers versus holding the hair in my fingers. A really great trick, a really great tip if you do a lot of frame-the-face layers. Hold that hair in the comb versus in your fingers after it's all dry to go ahead and sharpen up that outline. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm going through and I am removing the corner, just lightening up the corner that you get when you do frame the face layers. And interior layers, because see, when you do interior layers, you're over-directing everything back. When you do frame the face layers, you're over-directing everything forward towards the face. That's why it's frame the face. But then you get this corner in between the two. So that corner can be heavy. I'm just going through and removing that corner just to lighten it so the layers are nice and light. Alright, now it is time to cross-check the frame the face layers on the other side. So again, you can see I'm just going to scoop the hair up into the comb, hold the comb, and then just go ahead and really clean up those frame the face layers. so depending on where you live, it is now time to cut the bangs or the fringe. Now, I lived in London, England for a year. That's actually where I got my education as far as learning how to cut hair. And then, of course, I continued my education and my career of 20 years in New York City. But here in America, we say cut the bangs. In London, England, we say cut the fringe. So depending on where you're watching this, it is now time to cut the fringe or cut the bangs. So I'm going through and I'm just layering the bangs right now, just dusting off the upper half of the bangs. Think about when you cut a bob. The bangs are just a mini bob, right? You're cutting in an outline and then you go through and you layer your bob if you want a layered bob. Well, I'm just layering the bangs nice and light so that the bangs are not so heavy. They're going to be a lot more lighter, easier to dress in a more volume-like manner for my model when she goes to blow dry her hair. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this haircut. We've come to the end. You can see the layers are nice and light. Even though we did square layers, not round layers, there's still a lot of volume in the hair. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And if you have any questions or comments, please don't forget to put them down in the comments section below. And I want to thank you guys so very much again for watching.